my plan. I say lob it to Ryan Perez in the paint off a couple of screens.
Esquivel to Garcia. Off the deflection. Los Fresnos comes back and wins. Santa Maria will put up a three. Bang! Santa Maria.
There's Warner. Here comes a head of the jam. Counted for two. The field. Adios! And the Falcons win on a walk-off. And it's saved.
What a game. Cortez smacked to the left. That is gone.
Lob for Perez. That's my play. Off the backboard. Count it. And a win. And a win. Ryan Perez wins the game for the Santa Rosa Warriors, and they go nuts. Welcome back to another broadcast here on the RSLN Network, and we are looking at one of the teams that went 6-0 in 2 days of pool play. And on paper, the favorite to win this thing, that's the Los Fresnos Falcons. They'll be taking on the Rivera Lady Raiders. Crystal Shears to my left-hand side, and Crystal, well, how much can you say about this Los Fresnos team as they get ready for this game?
I've seen Los Fresnos quite a bit over these past 2 weeks in the preseason. I got to see them all weekend at Pound Fest, and I got to see them take on Rivera earlier this preseason as well. They're definitely a complete unit. They have two offensive outsides, OH1 Laila Trejo, number 8, and OH2 Natalie Lozano. Lucio doing a great job of utilizing both. Those two are pretty much the two attack points for the Falcons. Freshman Izzy Guerra is also doing a great job. She finally kind of found her footing, being still 14, learning this game, playing against girls who are 2-3 years older than her. She finally found her footing and is doing a great job in the middle as a blocking weapon. And as long as Los Fresnos keeps their serve receive clean, they should be able to take this game and this tournament.
Player in the driver's seat and having a lot of fun is Jalen Brown. She's listed at 4'11", the senior, as the setter. And what better team to be on when you're a setter than what Jalen Brown has. On the other side, the Rivera Lady Raiders are one of the teams that challenged some of the teams in this gold bracket. They knocked off Laredo LBJ. This is not a team just to give up on. As an underdog, they come in, they got a chance.
Rivera's always been a force to be reckoned with in their district. They do come off a district championship. They are rebuilding after losing a majority of their seniors and their starting lineup. Fairly young. They do need to find their footing as far as what rotation works for them. I feel like a few tweaks would probably give them the best option. They could be something really, really great. They just have to find it.
That's our pregame show, brought to you by the City of South Padre Island and by Texas Southmost College. We'll be watching this as the Los Fresnos Lady Falcons are on the left hand of your screen. The Rivera Lady Raiders on the right-hand side of your screen. Talk about it often in sports. If you're an underdog, as is the case with Rivera, sometimes that's not such a bad place to be. You play with nothing to lose when you go out here in a game like this. Los Fresnos in the white uniforms. We covered them from Lopez to Hannah, so fans got an opportunity to see all 6 of their pool games.
And a credit to Lucio's coaching style. Number 8, Laila Trejo, really is the biggest offensive threat in almost all of 32-6A. And the way that she's making the rotation, it's forcing Trejo to be in the front row for as long as physically possible. With Lozano starting her off, most coaches start off with the setter, but not Los Fresnos.
Lady Falcons will be returning serve to start this game. Raiders going right to left. Los Fresnos left to right. A race to 25. Best 2 out of 3, and away we go. Lozano on the return to serve. Brown sets it up. Spiked by Guerra on that front row. Played by Rivera. Get it back on the Los Fresnos side. This time it's going to be Trejo. Puts it over. Rivera Raiders defensively right there to play it again. Another set coming from Brown. Back to Trejo. Hammers this one down, score the point. Just relentless on that front row. I think there's enough positive you can say about Trejo on that front line. The senior for the Lady Falcons. Lady Raiders setting it up. Off the net this time, hitting it over is Alyssa Cuellar. Ball back over on the Raiders side. This time they'll set it up. And that's Cassandra Pardo. Another spike, another kill. Who else? Lila Trejo.
Rivera does need to do a little bit job at one, closing the block and setting it up, and two, being ready in the back. Too much just falling forward. They need to move their feet and line up with Lila.
Serve over, played by the Lady Raiders. Down 2-0 early. That's a cross and out of bounds. And that happens sometimes when you start you're looking too much for blockers and you just don't recognize where you're at on the floor. Ball across again, another serve by Guerra. Big swing there by the Lady Raiders. Put that down. That's a kill by Aubriana Piscazzo.
That'll actually be by Kira Parker in the front row.
Parker, okay. Ball across on the Los Fresnos side. That carries out of bounds. Back to serve is Pardo. Amy Rocha now on the front row for the Rivera Lady Raiders. Also up there up front wearing number 13, Alyssa Cuellar. They changed a bunch of numbers here. Coach gave me a roster with a bunch of number changes for Rivera. 3-3 the score. Next serve. Raiders trying to take the lead here. Lady Falcons set it up and off the block. Trejo scores the point. Raiders substitute in. Meanwhile, back to serve is Jalen Brown. That's not Brown. It is Brown serving. Spike off the block, played on the Los Fresnos side here as that ricocheted off for either team. Trejo tips it over. Raiders there. Good play again on the defense. They're playing a lot of defense, though, against this Falcon team. Back set here. Swing across. That's out of bounds. Mia Gracia on the near side. Tie game. So this is Parker rotating off the front row back to serve. Kara Parker serves it over. Played by the Falcons, center set. Trejo still on that front row. Next one hammered out off the back line. Rivera Raiders take the lead at 5-4. Parker to serve. In the net. I can comfortably say Los Fresnos only trailed in 2 different times in 2 days. They trailed early against Lyford. They trailed by a point against LBJ at one point. Otherwise, they held the lead throughout every game played. Tip over, Raiders make the play and take the lead again.
These two teams already met up in a preseason match with Los Fresnos taking the win, but set one was close.
Cuellar serves again. Trejo on the return. Brown near the net. Lozano up there. Tips it over. Played up near the net. Good swing here by the Raiders and put it down. That's Amy Rocha. 7-5 ball game. Brownsville Rivera on the right side. If you're just joining us, this is the quarterfinals of the 2026 BISD Volleyball Tournament. On the border by the beach, or by the sea. Serve over. That is just out of bounds. 7-6 the score. Substitution in the game for the Lady Raiders as Aaliyah Ramirez checks in. Ramirez to the back row. Serving for the Lady Falcons. I think that's Isabella Perez back there. She took over as libero yesterday. Or number 21, not a libero uniform the first day. Brings it over here. 7-7 ball game. Spike across. That's a new player on the front row for the Lady Raiders, Alondra Garcia. Ball back on the Raiders side. Set it up this time. A touch over there by Rocha. It's Fresno setting up Lozano. Back corner, that's in. What you notice on Lozano is she is not always looking to go straight down with the kills. She has vision to get those balls in the corners and spacing.
Now, a lot of people are playing against Trejo right now, but Lozano's just as effective in the front row.
Back set here, spiked by the Lady Raiders. That goes out of bounds, and Los Fresnos draws another point. And up 2. Serve over by Perez. High set in the center, double block. Covered by the Raiders, Los Fresnos. Lozano punches it over. Brownsville Rivera set it up in the middle. Punched over the blockers this time. Pass, quick set, Guerra in the net it goes. (9-8) the score. Lady Raiders trying to tie it up. Good pass this time by the Lady Falcons. Set up Lozano. Good dig back there by the Raiders' libero. Ball back on the Los Fresnos side. Back row attempt. Played again by the Lady Raiders. Perez with a pass. Guerra tips it. Covered nicely there by the Raiders once again. That's Pardo in the mix. Here's Lozano off a block. Punches it over anyway. Rally continues. Back over. It comes to Pardo off the block near the net. Still alive. Back on the Raiders side. Long rally here. Who wins this? Tipped over. In the net it goes. Los Fresnos wins the day. Paola Ureste there at the net. She saw blockers. She had the right idea, Crystal, coming to the angle. Just got to get it over the net first.
Caught it a little too low and just had to push it back into the net.
10-8 the score. Freshman Lauren Soul in the game. She got better and better as the day went over yesterday. How about that? A kill by Izagara, another freshman.
And that's called a happy birthday in the volleyball world because it's a gift to the hitter. And what a great hit from the freshman.
We got 2 freshmen, and we saw this rotation yesterday. They're confident enough to have 2 freshmen in the game right here and now for Los Fresnos. That pass misses, play over, and the Raiders earn the serve. Substitution as Mia Gracia checks back into the game for the Los Fresnos Lady Falcons. She'll go to the back row. At the net, that's blocked. Ball at the net there, challenge, down it goes. Nice kill there by Alondra Garcia.
The
1
set's
point
a
game.
little too tight. Set is just a little too low for the middle.
This is Lozano. A one-handed save there by the Raiders. Falcons set it up again. Guerra over the blockers. Got the point. That's a freshman recognizing where nobody was behind those blockers.
And it's like I said, she's gotten better every single game. She's finding her footing and really coming into her own here on the varsity level.
12-10 lead for the Lady Falcons of Los Fresnos. Ball over on the Rivera side. Set it up. Spike it off the block. Played by Rivera. Off the net. Punch it over. Lady Falcons scrambling. Lozano gets it ahead. Rotating back on that front row now is Lila Trejo. Here's Brown setting up Trejo. Had to adjust her steps. Still manages to get it in. And score the point for the Lady Falcons. They're up 13-10. I want to say she quietly rotated to the front row. She won't be quiet long up there.
No, you really are playing against her.
Serve across. Raiders are there to play it. Tip it over the blockers. Brown is there to cover. Lozano to Trejo, and another kill. And that's the thing about these Los Fresnos players. I gave Trejo a player of the game yesterday. When the last 4 points were scored, she got it off a block, a kill, an ace, and then she actually set up. She became a setter. So 4 plays in a row, 4 different ways to score. She was in all of them.
And the interesting thing about Lila is she actually started off as a middle with very little playing time for the Falcons, then transitioned to the outside and is now dominating in her district.
Big swing there by the Raiders, covered by the Falcons. They attack right back at you, score the point.
And a congratulations to Lila Trejo, who just committed to Division II University of Tyler to continue her volleyball career.
Timeout on the floor. Los Fresnos Falcons on top. And we'll be right back. This is On the Border by the Sea.
Turn your passion into a powerful career at Texas Southmost College. Our automotive technology program will train you in everything from maintenance to full vehicle systems repair. Earn a certificate or associate degree and get certified to work as a C maintenance or B-level technician. You'll be guided by seasoned instructors who have decades of real-world automotive experience, helping you get ready to roll into the industry. So take the wheel and apply today at tsc.edu.
At Tortilleria Ibañez, flavor starts fresh every day. Crispy flautas, homemade tamales, and our signature chicken salad, all made for you. Tortilleria Ibañez, tradition on every plate.
If you've been
It means a lot to me. TSC has changed me to make me realize that I can accomplish things. Just don't give up.
Back here, you saw the Lady Raiders on your screen throughout that timeout. And Coach Guerra was doing all she could to tell her team, hang in there. They played tough. And yet they trail by 6. Lozano to serve for the Lady Falcons of Los Fresnos, and back to action in the net. That's what I saw in the last 2 days. If you want to find a place to say we can always get better, and coaches often are wanting that. I want to be able to tell my players, we can get better. There it is, service errors.
Well, Rivera typically known for their defense, struggling in the back row. From what I've heard in practices, they tend to focus more on their offense this season.
Ariana Gutierrez serves it across. Lozano with a pass. They'll set up and a hit across and another score. Lila Trejo goes right back to work. Six-point lead for the Lady Falcons. Lady Raiders set it up in the middle. Good coverage by the back row. Lozano attacks back there. She's comfortable hitting back there as well, my friends. If you haven't seen this Los Fresnos team. Ball back on the Raiders side, far side, tip it over. Guerra keeps it in play. Trejo, diving play back there by the libero. That's Tiffany Garza on the Raiders side. Still, Los Fresnos scores the point. They go up 18-11. Guerra to serve. Good pass here by the Raiders. Set it up in the middle. Lozano with a dig. Sends it to Brown, over to Trejo. Back over on the Raiders side, and point scored. Brownsville Rivera. Cassandra Pardo making the play. She'll rotate back to serve. Pardo serves it. That's the Fresno's Falcons were handcuffed there. Do I let that go? Do I play that? By that time, it's too late.
Well, the way their defense is set up for serve receive, it's extremely difficult for Gracia to decide whether she's going to get it or not.
Falcons on the attack. Trejo tips it, found a spot, and it lands softly in for the point. And I won't say that much. After it hits Trejo and I say softly comes across, doesn't happen often.
Trejo does a really great job of seeing the court and deciding when she wants to swing and when she wants to tip.
Brown with the serve. Raiders get it past the blockers. Big diving play back there again. That's Perez. She's an active libero for this Los Fresnos team. You know, you talk about the hitters, you talk about all the firepower they have, but they also bring defense, including Perez, who's just stellar at the libero.
She's definitely come a long way from Pound Fest. Her serve receive and her digging has gotten more and more consistent each game.
21-13, Los Fresnos up 8. Lady Falcons trying to advance to the semifinals. Awaiting them is Harlingen. Already the other semifinal set with Brownsville Pace taking on Brownsville Veterans. Lady Raiders down 7, also trying to get to that semifinal game. And a good attempt back there to dig that, but too much power. Ariana Gutierrez just couldn't get it up in the air. 22-14, Lady Falcons. Back to serve, Lila Trejo. Ball blocked by the Lady Falcons. Raiders attack a second time here. That's tipped. Trejo sends it to Lozano, gets it across. Good play back there, but off the hands. Aaliyah Ramirez kept it in play momentarily. But Lozano able to score that point for the Falcons. Up 9 now, biggest lead for Los Fresnos here in this first game. Here's Lozano again. Rears back, lets it go. Count the point.
That's been the biggest swing I've seen this set from Natalie Lozano. We talk a lot about Trejo, but Lozano just as effective as a front row player.
Timeout on the floor. Lozano got a player of the game as well with hits like that in our first day's coverage at Lopez. We'll be right back with more after this. And I've got my plan.
This is the island where adulting takes its own vacation. South Padre is more than an island. It's the island.
At Brownsville ISD, every journey starts with a strong foundation.
Our academic.
It seems like you'll do anything for your clients.
Anything.
Would you get a face tattoo?
What do you all think?
Looks good, boss.
Rev up your future with Texas Southmost College's Auto Body Repair Program.
Back here, you see the Los Fresnos Lady Falcons. Coach was right there in the mix talking to her players. Rivera Lady Raiders getting a little extra instructions from their coach. This is one of those that's not necessarily saying we can get back in this game down 24-14. She's setting the table for next game as well.
Sometimes you have to just take that first set and move on to the second with a clean slate.
To take advantage of an extra time out there to get a little more emphasis on the message. Ball falls there. Los Fresnos wins game 1. 25-14, the final score. And we'll be back with game 2 after this.
This is the island where even the grown-ups forget what day it is. South Padre is more than an island. It's the island.
I fell on a loose towel at the grocery store, and now they're saying it's my fault. Do you think you could help?
Of course I can help. You should be focused on feeling better.
Oh, thank you, Law Champ. Hey, do you think I can get a selfie?
Of course.
No importa en cuál etapa de tu vida te encuentres, Texas Almost College está aquí para ayudarte a progresar. Ya sea que estés empezando desde cero, cambiando de carrera o adquiriendo nuevas habilidades, TSC tiene programas accesibles diseñados para adaptarse a tus metas. Es hora de dar el siguiente paso. Piensa en grande, piensa claramente, piensa en TSC.
Permatemp Personnel Services has been servicing local businesses for the past 29 years.
Leave the hiring to us. Let us become your personal hiring guru.
We have a network of skilled employees to fit your needs.
Your success is our strategy.
Don't hesitate, call us now.
Back here, we're at Brownsville Veterans Memorial, the big M in the middle of the floor. BISD 2026 version of volleyball tournament. Los Fresnos and Brownsville Rivera. Lady Falcons won the first game. They're in control here to punch their ticket to the semifinals. Lady Raiders try to rebound. We'll be right back with the first serve of game 2 right after this.
At Tortilleria Ibañez, flavor starts fresh every day. Crispy flautas, homemade tamales, and our signature chicken salad, all made for you. Tortilleria Ibañez, tradition on every plate.
It means a lot to me. TSC has changed me to make me realize that I can accomplish things. Just don't give up. I've come a long way from where I was to what I am now, and there's no limit to where I'm going.
Kenny Perez came from a...
We are back here, and you see the front line established for the Los Fresnos Lady Falcons on your center screen. Matter of fact, there's your two front lines meeting at the net, and they're ready to roll. Crystal Shears, what do the Rivera Raiders have to do here in game 2 to get back into this match?
They really need one, better communication. There was too many balls that would fall just right in the middle. And 2, they need to get better at their defensive lineup. I'm not really too sure if they're running a perimeter defense or if they're running a rotational defense, which is a little bit questionable for me as a commentator. I can't tell, which means that they're out of position most of the time.
Raiders set it up. That may be as a result of what you were talking about earlier. This is a lot of youth on this squad. Slam there by the Los Fresnos Lady Falcons. They go up 1-0. And when you have youth and you lose a game, oftentimes you better be careful in game 2.
And almost immediately, exactly what I just said, if you watch the back line for Rivera, they're out of position and they're not able to dig the way they'd like to.
And an ace served up. Makes it a 2-0 game for the Lady Falcons of Los Fresnos. You see the Raiders are positioning 4 players along the back row for the return of serve. Ball up near the net here. They'll set it up, block back at you. A point scored for the Lady Falcons.
Not too sure if you got to see, but Parker in the middle, the set wasn't quite where she needed it. She had to kind of do almost a stutter step to try and catch it. But with a tall front line of Guerra and Trejo in the front, it's not going to work.
Again, with 4 players back there to return the serve. As an ace comes in there. See if we can go wide and show that, because we haven't seen that. I haven't seen it in a couple of days where 4 players are back there. Lozano to serve. Raiders set it up in the middle. dug by the Lady Falcons. Lozano from the back row tips it off the net, score the point, 5-0. Los Fresnos to start it off. One probably was going out. Raiders play it. Brown sets it up in the middle. Guerra. Easy pickings there, right down the middle.
More than likely, you're going to start to see Coach Guerra start subbing. She's got a roster of almost 20. And you can tell she's starting to look at the bench. Subs are going to start to happen very soon if the serve isn't broken.
After that ball landed, she literally looked up and down her bench. She didn't even look out on the players on the court. And she's looking again, and now she's got her card in her hand. She's going to call a timeout. We may see mass substitution on the Rivera side. Los Fresnos Lady Falcons, meanwhile, rolling up 7-0 here in game 2. Back after this.
Turn your passion into a powerful career at Texas Southmost College. Our automotive technology program will train you in everything from maintenance to full vehicle systems repair. Earn a certificate or associate degree and get certified to work as a C maintenance or B-level technician. You'll be guided by seasoned instructors who have decades of real-world automotive experience, helping you get ready to roll into the industry. So take the wheel and apply today at tsc.edu.
If you've been in a car crash, call Kenny. We're available to take your call 24/7, and we don't charge a fee unless we win your case. When you're in a car crash, call Kenny. Call 999.
Back here, long talk for the Lady Raiders of Rivera. Los Fresnos all smiles. They lead 7-0. Natalie Lozano started serving. She's still serving back there as we resume play. Spike there. That's a gift as Los Fresnos plays that. Ball was probably going out. 7-1. They broke the serve. That's your first chore as a Lady Raider. 7-1 game. Cassandra Pardo puts it in play. Trejo now on the front row, puts that down with ease. 8-1 the score. And you know, Trejo was on the line to start the game. Really wasn't a factor in those first 7 points scored.
No,
that's rare.
I don't think she even swung.
Serve over on the Raiders side. Tipped over. Los Fresnos. Now they'll set Trejo. Here's your first swing of the second game. Good play back there on the back row by the Raiders. Raiders now can go on the offense. Set it up. Off the block. Score the point. Lady Raiders.
Parker is really one of Rivera's biggest offensive threats. I'd love to see her try to hit on the outside or the right side a little bit more often. She's got a beautiful swing, just having a hard time connecting in the middle with their setters.
Kara Parker back to serve. That'd be a double dribble in basketball. She gets away with it. Serves it across. Tipped over, and Trejo. Again, that vision, just stellar. Doesn't always have to have the big swing.
And we do talk a lot about Lila Trejo, but a credit to the rest of the Los Fresnos team. They really do look like one complete unit, passing, setting, and hitting. Doing a great job.
Brown serves it over. In the net it goes.
And like I talked about during that switch, communication for Rivera just lacking right now. You can hear them here on the court. They're all just yelling go instead of going after the ball.
Brown serves it again. More pace on that. Tough return of serve. Back set, and in the net it goes. Lady Raiders get the ball and the serve. Down 10-3. Soul checks in the game on the front row for the Lady Falcons. Trejo on the kill. Good dig back there. Playing some defense for the Lady Raiders as Cuellar. Kill there. Makes it 11-3. Lila Trejo back to serve for Los Fresnos. More players check in for the Lady Raiders of Rivera. Back on the Los Fresnos side in a hurry. Free ball. This is a rarity for the Raiders to work with. Set it across the way and score a point. Just over the blockers and fell in front of that back line. Raiders substitute into the game. Cassandra Pardo back in on the front row. Coming up, semifinal game number 1. A couple of Brownsville schools in the semis. Another chance and another one dumped over the block in front of that back line. Point scored for the Raiders. That's in the net. Los Fresnos gets the serve right back. Izzy Guerra checks back in the game. Defensively for Brownsville Rivera, Mia Garcia checks in. Tipped over the blockers yet again, and suddenly the Raiders have found a little seam here in the defense of Los Fresnos.
Sometimes it's not all about just hitting it down as hard as you can. Sometimes it's about finding those little gaps.
Lady Raiders set it up. This time played by the Falcons. Free ball here for Rivera. Good pass, high set. And played again on the Rivera side. Another chance. Center set off the block. Rally continues. Los Fresnos set it up. Lozano tips it. Rally continues. Raiders playing good defense here. Good recovery there. Ball on the Los Fresnos side here. Got to watch out. Far side and another good play. Raiders defense has come to life. Ball blocked back at you. Los Fresnos wins the day. Multiple chances there for Los Fresnos, but the Lady Raiders staved off hit after hit after hit. Deep serve, good pass up near the net. Ball over in the net called on Rivera. Said good pass, it carried further into the net. No real chance for the player to hit it and not go into the net there. 14-6 the score. Sol back to serve for Los Fresnos. That's an ace. Lauren Sol. One of 2 freshmen on the varsity roster, and both have earned playing time on this team. Block here, and there's another freshman. Izzy Guerra with the block.
Guerra just has great timing as a freshman for the block. I'm excited to see what else she does for the rest of the season.
Tipped over. Raiders down 10. Play it over, and now Los Fresnos sets up Lozano. Down the line, score the point.
And I want to talk about communication really quick. Right there on that play, the set was slightly off. Both Trejo and Guerra went. They communicated, and Guerra was able to get it over, and vice versa. Rivera struggling a little bit on that.
Rivera calls a timeout. Los Fresnos with the lead. 17-6 your score. Right back after this.
At Brownsville ISD, every journey starts with a strong foundation.
Our academic programs inspire curiosity and critical thinking.
In athletics, students unleash their potential while diving into school spirit.
Creativity shines.
This is the island where adulting takes its own vacation. South Padre is more than an island. It's the island.
Give your little one the best start at Brownsville ISD's Pre-K 3 and Pre-K 4 programs. At BISD, 3 and 4-year-olds develop fundamental skills that pave the way to lifelong success. With quality educators.
Back here, Lady Raiders trailing 17-6 here. We're in Brownsville, Texas. It's Brownsville Veterans Memorial, home of the Gold Bracket Championship Day of Day 3 of this tournament. It's Fresno serving, leading 17-6. They've already captured one game and trying to move into the semifinals. Spike there is down and in. 17-7 to score.
And again, like I said, Parker definitely one of Rivera's biggest offensive threats. I just wish they'd be able to utilize her a little bit more.
Lady Raiders to serve. As Fresno can't get it over.
That's one of Perez's first serve receive errors. Overall, doing a fairly good job.
Ariana Gutierrez to serve for the Lady Raiders. Falcons, Brown gets it over. High past the blockers, that's out of bounds, but they're going to give a point to the Raiders, saying that was touched by a Los Fresnos player. $17-9 the score. Deeper serve to the back corner, carries out of bounds. There you see a difference as well. Los Fresnos earned the point, earned the serve, didn't substitute at all, just rotated.
Though Lucio really does find a rotation and sticks with it.
Tipped over here. Lady Falcons set it up off the net. Trejo in the net it goes. Point scored Rivera. I'm not sure I've seen any other team not substitute on a rotation in the 2 days I've been covering this.
It's just a factor of their coaching styles. Rivera with a bigger roster and multiple subs, and Lucio tending to keep a small roster with very little subs.
Off the block, Trejo scores the point. Lady Falcons up 8 at 18-10. Substitution, now you see some more players checking in for Rivera. Hannibal Blanco now checks in. On the back row on the defensive side. Raiders earn the serve. Down 19-11. Libero checks out now as they bring in Leah Lara. I believe that's Lara on the front row. We'll look and check. And a point scored for the Lady Falcons. Nope, that's Paula Oreste on the front row. 20-11, Los Fresnos. Blocked. Raiders play it from the middle. Blocked again. Too much firepower. A wall up front for the Lady Falcons. Serve goes to the back row. Up near the front. Played by the Falcons. That's in the net, and a point scored to the Raiders. You see the front line of Los Fresnos. I was talking to a coach yesterday, and I was asking these coaches for their heights of their hitters. And he looked over and he said, against that, I'll tell you about my lack of height. I won't tell you my height. I'll tell you the lack of height compared to that. 21-12.
I will say Rivera's libero, although short in stature, has an amazing vertical. I wish they would utilize her as a front row hitter because she really can put the ball away.
Back there in the middle here, she'll return this serve. Brown sets it up. That's Trejo on the back row, and that's a kill that goes down. (23-12) the score. Deep serve here. It's Tiffany Garza back there at the libero. And a point score for the Lady Falcons. They're one away from moving into the semifinals. That's going out.
You never want to miss on game point.
Lady Raiders serve. Pass to Brown, back sets, tipped over the block. And here come the Rivera Raiders on the attack. Los Fresnos right back to you, to Lozano. Back over on the Raiders side. Short set. Lozano this time covers those blockers. Trejo tips it from the back row. Played off the back row. There's a hit by Garza. Back to Lozano. Got the point. Scored the game winner. And Los Fresnos sweeps it in two. 25-13 the final score. Go to our post-game show. Again, there's not much time between these two games, so we'll go immediately to a post-game. As we have now established our semifinals. Los Fresnos wins. They'll take on Harlingen. Final thoughts on this one, and let's name a player of the game as well, Crystal.
Los Fresnos just did a great job. Like I said, they really do play like one solid unit. Yes, they're led by number 8, Laila Trejo, but it really is a team effort, and they do look like a complete unit. Rivera just sputtering just a bit in their back row attack. Like I said, I couldn't really tell what kind of defense they were running. In volleyball, the two primary ones are rotational defense or perimeter defense. Either one that they tried to run, they were just not in position to receive. So you really couldn't even judge their offensive power because the defense was lacking in the back row. Los Fresnos is the favorite to win this tournament. They won it last year. We're going to see if they can go ahead and do it again. But my player of the game personally for this game would have to go to our libero, Isabella Perez. She really did a great job in serve receive, only shanking one, and did a great job digging, making sure her passes were on point, and making sure that she was the backbone for that offensive power that Los Fresnos has.
Got it. I agree. She was our player of the game yesterday in one of our games. So, hey, when you got 6 wins in 2 days, you're going to get players get multiple player of the games. This time, Isabella Perez gets the nod. That's our semifinals. They're ready to go. The first one will be Pace and Veterans. Second one will be Harlingen Los Fresnos. The champion will be declared before the day's over. For this broadcast, for Crystal, I'm Joe, Dahlia, and Bert on the